All right.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Another
Live from
week.
our remote recording studios.
Yeah,
How's your week going?
it's been good. It's been great. Last weekend. Well, first of all, no, I wanted to ask you how Banks was.
Oh, Outer Banks was good.
I had nothing special on my weekend. But tell me more.
Outer Banks was good. I got a few beach days in. It was really windy,
Yeah, you
unfortunately,
told me
but
that.
yeah, but it was very nice. It's always nice to be on a beach and not working and hanging
Facts.
around family and friends and playing games and all that good stuff. So
Facts,
it
because I was
was
working
good. Yeah, you were.
all weekend. But I got that time and a half, baby, so that's all I'm
Hello,
worried about.
hello, hi.
That's all I'm worried about.
How was work? I don't know how much you can say, but was everything okay?
It was good. The last day was nuts. We like all had 7 patients, like even like our
Wow.
charge nurse, and it was just like, you know what? Everything's getting done when it
Right,
gets done, and
right.
that's that. And say something about it. Like,
I like that though. I like when everyone's on the same page, like work wise, of like things are crazy. We all are can acknowledge that it's crazy, but like let's
yeah,
just put our head down and we'll figure it out.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I will say this week I played pickup on Wednesday night,
Told me
threw my
that.
back
Yeah.
out. Bad,
Mm.
bad, 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 bad,
That's the thing
bad.
about getting old, huh?
I would say that, and you are
Oh,
correct, but this is also an issue I've had since I was a teenager, but it definitely trying to,
contributes.
yeah, trying to just go from, my running and my workout classes and whatever to like full court, high intensity with guys pickup
Mm.
with as competitive as we are. Something's bound to happen. And I'm usually pulling my back, but I have been pretty much bedridden the past couple days, and today I'm finally at a place where I went on a walk and I think I can start stretching it out again.
Good.
So, what are you gonna do?
Not a spring chicken anymore.
Mm,
Neither of us.
yeah.
I pull my back out so easily. Like
Oh,
it's either if it's not my back, it's my neck. Like
yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
just got over like a
Yeah.
sore neck.
Yeah. It's
It's
the
not my back,
worst.
it's not my neck, it's my hip. My left hip is
You've
giving
been
out
saying
on me.
that. You've been saying that. Well, I'm glad that we're both acknowledging the fact that our bodies are changing, and
Mhm.
that's okay. As
That's
long as we're moving,
okay.
that's all that really matters,
Yeah,
I'd say.
exactly.
So let's get into it. Anything from this week that's sitting in your spirit? Anything that's been on your mind, or do you want to get right into our lingering question from last week?
I'm feeling pretty ranty about the topic, so we'll get right into it.
Let's do it. So the lingering question last week was: are we more connected or lonelier than ever in this like digital age that we're living in? What's your like knee jerk reaction to that?
My immediate reaction is yes, and it's both for me. Like we
Yeah.
are both two things can be true at once. We are definitely more connected than ever. And also, just in my opinion, being in a time where we're only a text, a DM, a click away, it makes us lonelier. So my knee jerk initial is it's a both
Right.
to me.
Right.
What's your initial?
Um, I think that we both agree that it's both in different ways. I'm interested to hear what you would say about like one or the other.
So I think that the internet is gives us this fake like illusion of closeness,
Mhm.
like the likes, the comments. It replaces this genuine need for intimacy, like our genuine. It inflates our feelings of likability, and it's almost like a currency,
Yeah.
a new currency.
Mhm.
But my opinion is like frequent check-ins online doesn't equate or replace like actual meaningful connection.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I think that's where we see loneliness come in, is like we are mistaking it for that. We're
Yeah.
mistaking the online connection as genuine connection.
Right.
And I think some like 30% of Americans last year reported feeling lonely like
Mhm.
weekly basis, and like 10% were like every single day or something like
Right.
that. And that's like
Right.
tens of millions of people.
Totally.
So it's definitely an epidemic. Like I think it was listed as an epidemic in like 2023 or something like
Yeah,
that. So it's definitely um an issue. I think that we
absolutely.
all, whether we realize it or not, we face it daily.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that just if we're just talking about the aspect of the internet, because I think that that's the way that our society has changed the most in recent years, right? Is all due to our access to the internet. It's so interesting because when you're talking about this idea of giving people false senses of community or friendship or whatever connection on the internet, I was literally just listening to this TikTok of this girl who is a popular podcaster, influencer who's like struggling with disordered eating. And she was talking, I guess this was like a clip from her podcast recently. And she's like, I feel like I need to address it. And she's like, and I'm totally paraphrasing, what's been really hard is I know that I have a lot of people who are like my silent supporters. But right now, the people in my DMs who are like telling me to kill myself, or like the people in my DMs who are like being so nasty and evil, are like so much louder
Mm,
than my silent supporters. Like, I know that they're there, and, like, that could also be with, like, her internet community, her actual people that sh she knows community, friends and family and stuff, and she's like, "And that's really hard, knowing that they're there, but, like, what you're feeling is so much more negative." And I thought that was so simple, but so profound of, like, that is exactly what we were talking about, of, like, the internet giving people these, like, false senses of connection.
yeah. I think that this illusion that we have of being connected to everyone, snap of our fingers,
Mhm,
everyone's at our fingertips. Um, I think what it really boils down to, and I think it goes like and is intertwined with what you said about that example, is like
mhm.
I think that we've lost the ability to be alone, like with ourselves,
Right.
and like being connected almost 24/7, or being able to be connected 24/7, but at the same time, at the end of the night when you turn off the lights and you go to sleep, like who and what are you faced with? It's
Right.
just yourself. And I don't think that people today actually spent enough or have spent enough time to know and feel what that feeling feels like, and to
Yeah.
like embrace it and sit with it, and then like let it go and not let it consume you. But
Mhm.
I think that's a really important thing that, especially in a digital age, like that we all need to do and practice, is being okay with sitting with our own selves. I think that's important when we have everything at the access of our fingertips all the time.
All the time.
I think that's really toxic. And I just think about myself, and I think there was a time where I felt like I could see myself being very lonely, and
Mm.
it came to a point where I was like, "What's going on? Like, do I really
Right.
not like myself enough that I can't sit here and, like, enjoy my own time with myself? Like,
Yeah.
something is not right here." So, that is
Right.
something that I have, I guess, learned in my adult life, is how to find the time that I spend with myself, like, enjoyable, and
Yeah.
I, like,
Yeah.
yearn for it. Like, I want my alone time, and, like, that's where I can just go and reconnect back to myself and just check in with myself and, like, go from there. I think that has really helped me be just a better human being altogether.
Totally. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. A lot of people are either in that right now and recognize it, or are in it and don't recognize it. But, like, it's really hard to do the work of being like of, like, your realization of, like, "Whoa, what about me doesn't make me feel like I need to be alone? Like, why do I feel like I need other people to be around," or what have you? And I think that in general, doing the work to, like, get to evolve and grow as a person is, like, not easy,
Mm-mm.
and it's much, much
It's so
easier.
uncomfortable.
It's so uncomfortable, and it's much easier to, like, stay with the status quo and, like, keep a billion people around you, or, like, stay connected to the internet, or, like,
Mhm.
do it to have those, like, false senses of fulfillment. but, like,
Yeah.
to actually stop and be like, "Who am I and what do I actually want, and, like, how can I love myself?" is really uncomfortable hard work that a lot of people can't do.
I think it's really important because I look at people around me, friends, family, and the course of their lives, and I
Yeah.
think that there's so many different things that can happen to you as an individual throughout your life where there's gonna come to a point where you feel very alone, whether,
Yeah.
breakups, deaths,
Mhm.
so many things, feeling alone, alienated. It's so important because that's where you find your, like, footing to then move forward and
Yeah, and your strength.
move on. Your strength is where you find your strength is,
Right.
like, at the end of the day, like I said, when you go to sleep, who and what do you have
Mhm.
besides who's laying next to you? But, like,
Right.
'cause not like I said, you come to this world alone, you leave this world alone.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I feel like that's a piece of advice that I try to give my friends a lot is learn how to be alone, and
Yeah.
no one can ever, like, take that from you. No one can ever take your sense of self from
And
you.
what does that mean to you?
A sense of self?
Yes, and, like, this idea of, like, learn to, like, love to be alone. Like, what does that mean? Does that mean learning how you function, how you think, how you act, how
I
you
think it's different for
love
everyone.
yourself? Yeah,
I think it's really different for everyone. I think
sure.
everyone's gonna I hope for everyone they can come to a point in their life where they become more introspective and can
Yeah,
because I think that is a really great thing and can just, like, determine and help perpetuate so many other great things in your life is when you can I don't know, when you can look at yourself and
yeah, love it.
yeah. So I think it looks different for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, and I think that that's something that I've had to learn in my own personal journey. I think everyone has their own, personal journey and stuff, and something that I've learned in therapy. I used to not understand therapy or, like, think of it as an option for myself, but I had people
Mhm,
around me who had been in it and spoke highly of it and encouraged me, and I think and then when I started to do it, I actually started therapy for the first time in 2020 because, post what was going on in 2020, COVID, Black Lives Matter. I was in a really stressful job at the time, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm numb half the time. I don't know,
mm.
like,
I think a
anything.
lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah. And
Everyone.
that numbness, right? Of, like, just going and me deciding, "Okay, I'm gonna find someone, I'm gonna do the work, I'm gonna find someone, I'm gonna, like, be honest with this person, I'm gonna, like, do it because I believe that therapy isn't helpful unless you're ready to receive, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And what I found and a large part of my personal growth within therapy has been about understanding how I function, but then also, like, claiming it and, like, obviously down to, like, my anxiety and knowing what triggers it and knowing thought processes that make me spiral, from that kinda stuff to also, like, having someone who's, like, can be a mirror to yourself and be like, "You're wrong," or "Your perspective is jacked up right now,"
Mhm.
or "You're having some really disordered thinking right now." Some of that stuff is really hard to hear,
Yeah.
but I found that I'm someone who, like, invites that. I need that,
Mhm, mhm.
and that translates in my professional life too, right? At work, in my year-end reviews, I'm like, I will literally go to my boss, "Okay, tell me I need feedback."
You take constructive criticism well.
Yeah, I don't wanna hear someone be like, "You're doing great, awesome." Like, I wanna know, like, how I can grow, how I can evolve, how I can be a better value add, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But, like, sometimes it's hard taking constructive criticism, but, like, I know
I'm
that
bad
that's the only
at
way
it.
that I grow.
I'm really bad at it. The thing I like about therapy I'm, like, really sensitive. The thing I like about therapy, though, is, like, I think you come to that on your own, like, all of those things
Yeah,
when you said, like, I don't think that they are trained, and I don't think that they typically, like, tell you which way or another
right.
to
Right.
go on a topic. There's a lot of times I finish therapy and I'm like, man, I wanted to go into that and like really like pick her brain and be like, what do you
Yeah.
like looking at it like a friend point of view? And then I'm just like, damn, like that didn't, damn, like it's really me and
Right.
myself that I have to form. Like I have to go on this road by myself. I have this person to bounce things off of and like tell me
Mhm.
if things are like disordered thinking or like
Yeah.
point, but it's more of just a guidance thing. And
Yeah.
again, it comes back to you and like the work that you.
And are willing to do, right? I think that's so much about life in general, and I can tie this back to our question, but, like, so much of it is about so much of the way we walk through the world is about perspective, right? And the tiniest perspective changes can change your entire thought process, the
Mm-hmm.
entire way that you move through the world from, like, a different perspective. So, like, what's really helpful for me is when I'm, like, talking to my therapist about something, and she's like, "Have you ever thought about it from this angle?"
Yeah.
And I'm
Like
like,
a suggestion.
yes. So I'm someone, I guess, what I'm gathering and like what you've gathered is like I need constructive criticism. And like sometimes she be saying things to me and I'm like, ouch. But like I
Mm.
needed to hear that,
Yeah.
where I'm like, she'll say something and I'm like, I want to be like, you're wrong. But I'm like, actually, you ate that because I needed to hear that. And ouch, but I'm going to grow from it and like I'm going to take it in. But I say all this to say, when it comes to feelings of connection versus feelings of loneliness, I think that the most important thing that we can do is to like parse out what's real and what's fake. It's becoming really difficult in this digital age to decide what is real and what is fake. And that's not even bringing AI into the conversation. But, like,
Mm-hmm.
even when it comes to these parasocial relationships, like, people figuring out, like, what connections are real and what connections are fake, which if you're if you don't have a handle on that, that can really lead to, like, serious feelings of
Yeah.
loneliness, which is, like, understandable, right?
Yeah. I feel like at the end of the day, you can have dozens of people around you.
Mhm.
You can have a million followers,
Yeah.
and you can be the loneliest person in the world, like
Absolutely.
in person, on the internet,
Absolutely.
and vice versa. So I think it becomes lesser of a question of good or bad and more of like how intentional we are with our ability to remain or not remain constantly connected.
Yeah.
That's what I think about it.
Right.
How do we responsibly use the
Mhm.
internet to stay connected at where we need it,
Yeah.
where we benefit in society from it, and
Mhm.
take the good, leave the bad kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
important to set boundaries too, I think. When I said the currency thing, I think about
Mm.
being available 24/7. Like, do we value each other's presence anymore? Like,
Right.
it's like inflation. The value of money reduces over time
Mhm.
when we have so much of it. Like, when we're in each other's presence so much, the
Yeah.
value of each other's presence, I feel like, goes down as well.
Right.
Like, we're taking for granted our actual genuine connections. I don't know. And it becomes less valuable for us, to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. Like physical presence, like
Yeah.
spending actual time with people.
I think about
Yeah.
that.
I agree. I agree. I wanna get into this idea later of, like, this third place that's disappearing of public spaces, but what I did wanna say, because I think we talked about how this digital age can perpetuate feelings of loneliness, but I also think it's important to say, which was my one of my initial reactions to, like, feeling connected versus, lonelier than ever, is although our physical human connections are much less. People aren't going into brick and mortars. People aren't going to the bank. People aren't meeting out for dinners and coffees as much. We're doing a lot of stuff um, over the internet. I also think that when it comes to information sharing, we as a society are like 100 times better than we were
Absolutely.
previously, right? So, like, because we all have access to this thing called the internet, we have the ability to share information around the world in a way that we never have, right? And what
Yeah.
yes,
That's so
that
important.
totally, and that comes with its negatives, of course, but it also comes with the positives of, like, 2 decades ago, let's say, the only way to figure out what was going on in a different part of the world was to, like, read read the newspaper or watch the news from some legacy media outlet or talk to people or watch a movie, right? Whereas instead, right now, in literally virtually any country in the world, I could go on some social media platform and get the understanding from a bird's eye view of what's going on, right? Because of let's take what's going on in DC right now and militarizing the city. I could post a video right now. Someone like my friends in Dublin Ireland have no idea actually what's going on because they're just getting it from their media source. But like I can be a firsthand account and like explain to them what is actually going on. Whereas like if this was 20 years ago, their only understanding would be what they're seeing on the news, which is like not good. Obviously, in general, it's not good. But like the internet does give people the ability to like see and hear what's going on in other parts of the world on the ground in real time. And I think that is really helpful, right? That's what helps
Absolutely.
us figure out what the hell is
What's going
happening.
on? Yeah, spread
Yeah.
awareness.
Yeah. Spread awareness, create movements, like entire movements, social justice movements, political movements. All these things can happen because of how quickly information can be spread on the internet.
It does at
Just
the
as
same time unite us
it
just
does
as
at the same time
much.
unite us. And we would be remiss if we didn't say that like these things can also spiral and people can create movements that are very bad
Mhm.
and
You
very
take
not
the good with the
helpful.
bad.
Correct. But I also think that on the other hand, when it comes to information sharing, like it can create two issues. One, it can be really overwhelming. I know I
Mm,
have periods where like I need to like turn the news off for a period of time,
yeah,
right? Because there's so much coming in because we have access to so much, right? It's just like an open faucet. So there's that. And also because there's so much, sometimes, and I think this gets into like the feeling of loneliness. If you're out of the loop, because so many people can see the same thing, if you're out of the loop, you kind of feel like less
not
than your
included.
peers. Yeah, not included, which like perpetuates a feeling of loneliness, right? So
Mhm,
like there's like
mhm.
almost so much that like if you're not getting it, then like if you're not on the latest trend or you didn't hear the latest song or you don't know the latest thing that's happening socially, that can create feelings of being out of touch, which is why we have like
Touch.
6-year-olds who want iPhones right now so they can be on TikTok and do stuff that their friends are doing. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah. It
It's
definitely I can see in my life when people feel less up to date and everything, it just they end up more or less removing themselves from the conversation and just
yeah,
like then that does lead to feeling lonely. Like
yeah,
when you're just not a part of the conversation, you can't relate to the conversation. You don't want to feel like you're not in the
hmm
loop, so you just choose not to be involved. And I think that is really a problem when we talk about like these social issues. And
yeah,
I think people are shying away from the uncomfortable topics and are shying away from just facts, whatever the hell is going on,
hmm
because there is so much information to keep up with that it's almost impossible to keep up with it. And then how divisive we are in general
yeah,
just leads to just us not communicating
yeah,
further than just like I said, like the likes and comments and like very surface level stuff. I think it
right,
stops us from the important communication
yeah.
almost.
Can I be honest? I struggle with people who are blissfully ignorant or
Right.
like unaware, but like kind of on purpose. Because I think it's almost harder these days to like not know what's going on and to like only live in your bubble.
Mhm.
It like really frustrates me. It
Yeah.
has changed a lot of the way that I move around and have perspective on some of my
Well,
friendships and how much I value some of my friendships because I'm like,
right.
I don't live in a world where I can be ignorant and like
Mhm.
most people don't, I
Mhm.
guess. So like it just I don't know, it just like really frustrates me and it really like upsets me because I'm like, are you really seeing me? Because if you're seeing me and
You
like
would care about this.
you would care about this and like you would know that these things are important if I'm someone that you supposedly care about. Do you know? And maybe you don't, and it's fuck me, and that's fine.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. 100.
No, I know you do. But, like, I think I went through, like, a lot of that, I think, in 2020. 2020 changed so many of my friendships so fast because I was like, "Oh, y'all don't even know the surface level of what's going on," or like some of your opinions are so surface level and like based in bias that like you can't even see outside of yourself. And I see that and that change relationships, but
What's this?
and something that I've been doing as I've gotten older is like building like me and my old therapist in New York. We used to talk about like building my tribe, right? And like keeping my tribe and whatever whoever I deem to be my tribe and that can change in the next 10 years or whatever, but like having a circle, no matter how small, that like are your
Get it?
people. Yeah.
Mhm.
And like it really this idea has like it just changes the way that I move. Like I don't do certain situations anymore. And I'm very happy about that because at the end of the day, I need to care about my safety and my own personal well-being and like my own shit. And like if we're not on the same page and it is what it is.
Yeah. I wanna I wanna get back to, we
Yeah.
touched on it, but I wanna get back to boundaries.
Yeah.
I wanna know what your thoughts are on boundaries and
Mhm.
when we are available
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah, I
Like,
need
what are
them.
your thoughts? Yeah, what are your
Need
thoughts on
them.
creating boundaries? Do you think it's selfish?
No.
Um,
Need them. Love them. We all need them to survive, I think, and to live
do you think we're
a happy,
ever
healthy
really
life.
off? If we always can be reached? Are we ever really
Um,
off?
so
Emails,
yeah,
you know?
it
Do you
definitely I think it
do you feel
depends.
that anxiety when you get an email and, like, you're like, "Oh, I can respond right now," or a text message, "I can respond right now," but
Yeah, I do, I do. The only and this is something that's, like, so personal to me, I think, but, like, the only people that I have anxiety about, like, not answering their phone call is my partner and my immediate family. I'm so worried about everyone all the time that, like, I'm just so afraid to miss a phone call.
Mhm.
Now, when it comes to, like, work and, like, that kinda stuff,
Get
I've
back to you
gotten
when
t
I get back to you.
yeah, but I've had to get to that place.
Okay,
I've
yeah.
worked I've worked very demanding, intense jobs where, like, 3:30 on a Saturday, I'm, like, out with my friends and my boss calls me and I have to go home and do 5 hours of work, like, whatever. But when it comes to work life, especially, I think those are super important. But I also, I think it depends on what you do. I work a corporate job.
In my job, I'm a travel nurse now, so, like, I don't
Right.
even have access to an email, like a work email, but, like, when I worked a staffing job, it was, like, the requirement was, like, "You need to answer your email, like, once a week." I'm like, "Cool. You
Wow.
mean I don't need to look at my email for just once a week? I only need
It's
to respond to you
amazing.
once a week?" Like,
It's crazy.
cool,
Right.
cool. But I think that a lot of people feel this anxiety with, like, responding immediately right away, even with, like, friends. I think
Yeah.
about, like, the do you ever get those text messages where people are like, "Oh my god, sorry, I forgot to respond. Like, I totally forgot to respond to you. Like, I thought."
Hate it.
It's like it's like, "I
Hate it.
responded in my head, but I just forgot to respond."
Ugh.
Like, I think that stems from the anxiety of responding immediately. Like, you read a
Mm.
message and you're like, you can respond. Like, we're all on our phones. Like we've
Yeah.
been talking about, we're all connected, and we have the ability to most times be, obviously if you're doing something. But I think that like, sorry, totally forgot to respond. I responded in my head. I
Yeah.
think that's just like anxiety of like getting a message immediately and just being like not knowing what to respond, but thinking that
Yeah.
you need to respond immediately. And then your brain is just like, does that make
Yeah.
sense?
No, totally. See, I get so frustrated by that because I I don't like games, like, in general, like, these social games that people play of,
Okay.
like, someone texted me, but, like, I don't wanna text back right away because of XYZ. Like, if I see your
Yeah.
text I'm gonna respond. Like, I'm just, like, naturally really communicative, I think, as a person. Correct me if I'm wrong, but, like,
No, yeah.
I try to be really communicative, but I think in general, creating boundaries is really important because I think it helps you grow, and I'm not
Mhm.
perfect, like,
What
Sam and
about
I,
boundaries? God.
I was gonna say Sam and I, like tonight, for example, after this podcast, we're like putting our phones away and we're just gonna like have a movie night and like eat dinner and like do the whole thing and play games and stuff because it's important. Because I think it's important to like sometimes unplug and like sometimes be present. I think people have a really hard time being present, you know, like, and I think that brings us into this question of like, is constant connectivity making us actually less connected, right? Which like sounds like a mouthful. So let me repeat it. Is constant connectivity making us less connected?
My answer is yes.
Yeah. I think we confuse access with connection. We have access to a lot of
Mhm.
things. I don't know if we're
Like people's
necessarily.
locations?
Here we go. Yeah, you know what? Let's get into it.
Okay.
And then I want to talk
I
about this like idea of a third place.
okay. I think this whole thing with having people's locations
Mhm.
is good and bad, you know.
Yeah.
But I think
Sure.
it's become like an internet sensation. Like
Oh, really?
you see, yeah, you never seen the memes of like, all right, you don't know the specific meme of that like cat. I think it's a cat driving down the road in the car, and they're like me, and it's like on like a background of like find my friends, and they're like
No.
me checking my friend's location and seeing my homegirl like driving like 100 miles an hour down the freeway, like in Miami or what. It wasn't specifically Miami, but you've never seen that
No,
meme.
but that's hilarious.
My personal thoughts on this, find my friends and having everyone's locations
Mhm.
is toxic. And I think that
But like
most people think of it when I think of
toxic,
toxic is like in relationships, right? But I think that
is
it's
it is
not
it is the
good.
idea toxic or it can be used in a
It
toxic
can
way?
be. It can be used in a toxic way. And I think that in a world where we're constantly connected, I think it's more toxic than helpful.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just like, if I want to tell you where I'm at and like what I'm doing in my life, and
this makes this
that's access, that's information that I get to choose to share with you or not. Like,
yeah,
I
totally.
think people abuse it. I think people abuse it and hide behind the facade of like, I'm just worried about where you are. And like, there
Sure,
are
sure,
times where it's, we are worried about each other's safety. But like, what did we do 20 years ago? I mean,
sure.
and then we had
Yeah,
this whole thing of this whole discussion about there wasn't as many serial killers or there wasn't,
there
like
wasn't.
it's helpful. It's been helpful and like there's good and bad with everything. But I think how I've used it and how I've seen it be used is
Yeah,
like
yeah,
in a toxic manner
sure.
of like even if it's not like, oh, where you like want to know where I'm at and like it's kind of weird when you like feel like
Yeah,
entitled to someone's location
sure,
all the time 24/7. Like I don't
sure.
know, it's a weird
No, I get
concept. We
that.
don't need to be that.
Yeah.
I
See,
don't know.
I mean, it makes me wanna, like, you can remove me, by the way. You don't need to share your location with
I
me, I just wanna say that.
I want
No,
everyone's
no, it's
location, but I just view it differently as everyone else though, I guess. Like
no,
I don't look
I
at it every
know.
night.
I just don't
I
want you
don't
thinking I'm checking up on you,
no, I don't
'cause
think
I
you I
not.
have I honestly don't have any problem with it. It's just like as I get older, I'm
Yeah,
like I think that it's toxic in romantic and platonic relationships. Like
sure,
it used to be like my brain was like it's toxic in romantic sense. Like it breaks up relationships. People like it isn't honestly a
sure.
no-no.
Yeah,
But I think as you get older, like and you're in more like mature relationships, it's not as much of an issue. But
yeah.
I just kept that same energy that like honestly it's just in general a little bit toxic for me. But
It's a
what is your standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, I could understand how it can be invasive, right? I get that. I
Mhm.
can like logically understand that, and I think that with anything, I always say this, humans will find a way to ruin anything and everything all the time. So like from that perspective, I totally understand. I think my personal perspective is that like I don't hold that much weight to it because also I don't have people in my life who are like no one's ever been like, "Yo, why are you here?" The way that I use it is like if I'm with friends and it's a night out or something and we all go
Yeah,
home, I wanna make sure people get home, right?
absolutely. We have a terrible relationship with telling people that we made it home.
Terrible.
Horrible.
Horrible. Horrible. It drives me crazy. I mean, I'm probably just as bad.
I'm terrible.
So there's that, and we also talked the other day about how people can even use it to decide if they're going to reach out to you or not. About
To
like, if I see that you're at work, I'm not going to call you. If I
okay.
see that you're out of town, I'm not going to ask you to hang out this weekend.
I just feel like it's unnecessary. Like,
Yeah.
just like, it's not that like if I'm at work and it is such a problem for me to get a notification, like my shit's gonna be on do not disturb.
Oh,
So
first of all, we need to talk about that too,
what
sis. The
what
D&D of it all.
me personally or just in
No,
general?
general.
Okay.
People being D&D
You don't
people.
like it? I've
No.
never like I very recently since I just got a new Apple Watch
Mm.
and I started using that bedtime feature. I never used to, but I set it up to where now it
Bedtime is
goes on
cute. Yeah.
it
Okay.
goes on like a certain D&D, I guess, at 11 o'clock. And like
But I
I
don't
never used to use it. I never, and I
yeah.
still really don't. Like I don't purposefully or like go and click D&D. But just
I
since I
know.
got this Apple Watch in the beginning of August, I have like the bedtime feature now, and it goes on. And I'm pretty sure. Do you see that, or do you notice that on my
Oh,
thing? Does it
yeah.
tell you?
Yeah.
So that's not me purposefully doing that. Like that's like because I just
Mm.
got the Apple Watch. It was like, do you want to put a bedtime thing? And I was like, I guess. And I don't know how I feel about it. Like I've never been.
I know how
I
I
don't do
feel.
that.
I don't like
You
it.
hate it? You don't like
Yeah.
it? I don't
Because
really like it
like
either.
because damn, if I need to call you in the middle of the night, I gotta call
Call
3
twice.
times?
Yeah.
Damn.
There's a way to put it on D&D, but it doesn't tell you. You know what I mean?
It doesn't
My
tell
friend
me.
doesn't tell the person that is
Mm.
like, because I'm pretty sure one of my friends has her phone on Do Not Disturb after a certain time, but like it doesn't tell me. So like honestly,
Mm.
I need to figure out that hack right there.
No, you don't. How about no?
Uh,
Because you're still doing it. I'm
I
sorry.
know. It's
Anyway,
my bedtime feature. I gotta go to bed.
go to bed and face your phone down.
No, I know. I'm probably gonna turn
Mm.
it off. Like I don't like I don't know. It's more of a I work at night, so it's honestly more no maybe honestly maybe that's why. Maybe it's more helpful. I'm like if I'm not getting as many alerts, like I'm not as distracted and I just like get my stuff done and
Sure,
then
sure, sure. No, I get that. And I think this is all in the conversation of feeling constantly connected, right?
yeah,
And we talked about this
the
idea of,
pressures.
yeah, pressures. And we talked about this idea of the disappearing public spaces, or like the third place, as people call
Mhm.
it. Can you kind of like describe what that means?
Absolutely. I don't remember when I heard about this, but like this idea of we have three spaces just in general. We have, our home
Mhm,
space, we have our workspace. A lot of people
mhm,
work from home now, so like that's even eliminated. But like this third space of it's supposed to be a gathering of some sort where people socialize and build community. So
mhm,
cafes, coffee shops, bars, libraries, bookstores, parks, community,
mhm.
whatever,
Yeah,
is so important to, I think, our society
yeah.
today because you need it. You need that source of
Mhm,
community and socialization, especially when we're talking about being overconnected, having too much connection
mhm.
online. It's almost like that, like I said, a fake sense of togetherness
Yeah,
online we need and people benefit from that having that third space and like that's where you see a lot of today you see a lot of cities trying to reintroduce like green spaces and parks and like
yeah.
opening up that space where people can come home from work and have that sense of community to go to and build relationships that are much needed.
Absolutely. And I've been finding, I don't know if you feel this way, but like I think within adulthood, it's hard to find third spaces that like don't revolve around like drinking culture.
I was gonna say kids.
Oh, that too. That was gonna be the second thing I said
Okay.
about like uh, drinking, or like we go to a museum, like we go to museums, and so many museums are just like for kids. Like I really want to go to the Spy Museum, but like we're not gonna go because it's like
You said
kind
the
of for
spy.
kids. Yeah.
Well, we can go. We're gonna go.
No, I know, but like Sam recently went to the Planet Word Museum, which is like about language and linguistics and stuff. But she's
Wow.
like, it was cool, but it was just like for kids. So like,
Mm.
I just want more like adult spaces that are like, and that's why we go to sporting events and we do stuff like that. We try out new restaurants and stuff, but I want to do something that's fun, that's not revolved around
Drinking
drinking
our
or like
kids.
eating or kids. And there are some, I have found some community groups, whatever, party promoting groups in DC that are like specifically around doing stuff that's not those things. That's super cool. They have Uno tournaments, they have like puzzles, they have like field day, they have like all this cool stuff that
It's
I think are
important.
good. And I was telling you yesterday about when this idea of the third place and having separate spaces for separate things. I was trying to tell you about my old apartment building where it's in DC. It's a luxury apartment building, 800 some odd units, but within the building was you always have your apartment. There was multiple recording studios. There were co-working spaces. There was an indoor pool, an outdoor pool, a sauna, a crazy
Insane.
nice gym, a cold plunge, like all these things.
So
And
many amenities.
we were told when we moved in that the idea of the building it was built during COVID, and the idea was that people didn't have to leave home to like do all their stuff. And I'm like, in theory, I get that. But
Mhm.
in reality, like we need to be able to leave home. Like we should be
Yeah,
leaving to like go do things and like
absolutely.
create community. Because like
Absolutely.
if I'm just like going downstairs to go to the gym and I do my little workout and I just run back up to my apartment, then like I'm not really talking to anyone. And so like these third places, why they're so important is like that is where we build community as people. And like
Mhm.
we're losing that. Even when it comes to like shopping. How often do we really shop in
Yeah.
person?
You either have an online delivery service like
Yeah.
myself,
Yeah.
or you're doing shop right from home and you're just
Yeah.
picking up because it's, like, convenient.
Yeah. Or
One.
like, damn, sometimes I want to go to a store, I want to try something on, and I want the sales associate to tell me that I look good. All
Yeah.
right?
One of my
Dang.
favorite things actually is, like, grocery shopping and, like, listening to music. That's, like,
Yeah.
one of, like, my joys is I love, like, putting in headphones and, like, just going shopping. Giving you joy.
Oh, me? What's
Yeah.
giving me joy? I have a weekend this weekend of no plans,
Beautiful.
and
Rest
I'm so
R&R.
excited. I haven't just spent like a full weekend in DC in like a while, so we're just gonna like hang out and see where the wind takes us this weekend, and I'm like super excited for that.
Love that.
What about you?
Love that. My niecey just started school, so
I
I'm
saw the
coming off of
picture.
I'm
The
coming off
way Tara's a printer is crazy.
oh,
She
yeah.
looks exactly
Oh,
like her.
looks just like her. Yeah.
It's
The little one looks just like I feel like they look like my
yes.
brother-in-law when they're little.
Yeah.
My other niece, the
Come
little one looks
on.
just like Kit, but my older one looks just like my sister, yeah.
Printer. Printer.
Printer, copy paste.
So cute.
But we picked her up from school today, her second day. And we went and got ice cream, and then they came over and we spent time together. So that's really given me joy, and I love to see them
I love
grow
that.
up and see the little humans that they're becoming. Love it. I
Um, cool. So I think that, well, first of all, thank you for being open and vulnerable during this
You
conversation
too.
today. I think it was
It's so
really,
important.
it's really important. And these are things that I think a lot of us go through, whether we talk about it or not. So it's really
Whether we
refreshing,
realize it or not, whether we're in tune with it or not, like,
whether we're
yeah.
ready to hear it or not. Cool. So in the same vein, if we're talking about our lingering thought for next week is, we're talking about our access and our constant connectivity and, the algorithm of it all. So I think it would be interesting to discuss like because so much of our what we intake is algorithm driven, what things in like our general culture, whatever we describe culture to be, have lost its kind of effectiveness because so much of it is like you're only seeing what the algorithm wants you to see. So, like, does that actually make some things in culture, like, lose its effectiveness?
Yeah. And
What do
what
you think
is
about that?
culture?
Yeah.
And yeah, how much of it is like a creation of AI? Like, is
Yeah.
this like a AI culture,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
being fed to us, or you know,
Mhm.
interesting.
Yeah. Very, very. Thank you, Case.
Thank you.
And thanks everyone for listening. We are
Yes.
excited to get back on and chat again and yap next week.
Stay safe. We love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.